Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Code Realize Chapter 10 Vampire in Van Helsing's Route. I don't remember what this one's about.
もう少々こちらでお待ちいただけますか、ヘルシングさん。あなたを疑っているわけではありませんが、一応規則ですので。
I'm not sure what this one's about, but I'm sure it has something to do with Dracula since he's like the only vampire besides MP in this game. But we'll find out. So Cardia had left for had Cardia had run away to go back to her normal everyday life, got kidnapped by a serial killer who was killing impure women to purge the streets, I guess. And Van Helsing came to her rescue and brought her back. And now he's being interviewed by an officer about the incident. I don't think anything happened to him. I think now they're just trying to get rid of him. It's obviously a bad guy.
気にすることはない。この状況では当然そうするべきだ。だが、こいつは休ませてやってほしい。ここ数日の間、監禁されていたようだからな。
The officer nods in response, but I hold up my hand and shake my head. Thank you, but I'm fine. I think I can give helpful information to the yard, and I'm not seriously injured.
お前がそう言うのなら、止めはしないさ。
He's like, whatever. After the recent events, the underground explosion was detected out in the streets as well. When we escaped from Jack's hideout using a sewage canal, the opening was surrounded by officers from Scotland Yard. Once we explained everything, the events leading up to and the cause of the explosion, it caused quite a stir. Although it's been a while since we left the sewer, Van Helsing and I have been unable to leave. Saint Germain, who had been looking for us, was drawn to the commotion and discovered us here by coincidence.
おやおや、随分と賑やかなことになっていますね。
He calls this festive.
女王の保護があるとはいえ、我々が固まっていては、あらぬ疑いが生まれるやもしれません。私を含め、ルパンたちには一度、屋敷に戻るよう伝えておきましょう。二人は疑惑が晴れてから、お帰りください。
Once you're cleared of guilt. He's like, I don't want to be caught. Saint Germain leaves as silently as he had appeared. Lucky for us, the suitcase I had been carrying was picked up by the yard while they were searching the area for evidence.
本当に辛くなったら、私に言え。
He says this to me in a low voice, and I look up at him.
今のお前は、お前が思うよりもずっと疲弊している。肉体面も、精神面もな。
He's so cute considering her feelings. That's not true.
隠すつもりなら、もう少しうまい嘘をつけ。手先が震えているぞ。
I only noticed this when he points it out. Honestly, the fear and hate in the darkness, the sewer red with blood, Jack's pitiful cries, everything I've experienced today is stuck in my head, and I start shaking every time my thoughts wander to the day's events.
気にしすぎるな。世の中には無数の不幸や悲劇がある。お前はその一つにたまたま触れただけだ。
And Helsing doesn't even look at me as he says this. He is watching the officers restlessly moving about the area. Thank you, Van Helsing.
助けたことも気にするな。それもまた単なる偶然。たまたま私がいち早くお前を見つけただけだ。
Yes, I know, but...
それ以外に何かあるのか？
You didn't kill Jack. That made me happy.
罪人を裁かず逃がしたことを。随分と変わった感性をしているな、お前は。
I know, you guys just made things more complicated for yourselves later on. No, that's not it. The thing is, whenever you try to kill someone, you look like you're in pain. I see it in your face. It was the same with Finnis. I know you really didn't want to kill him, but I also felt that you were so sad that you had to do it. Tell me, Van Helsing, what exactly happened between you and Finnis? There is a long silence. The night breeze blows by, and just as Van Helsing opens his mouth to speak...
お待たせした。
Oh my goodness. You ruined it. A voice booms out of us from the side. A person standing there is someone we've both met several times before. You're...
いかにも王室近衛兵長ランパール・レオンハルトである。この度は英国への貢献ご苦労であった。諸君の勇気はこの英国の誇りである。
Gosh, why do you have to yell it? I don't understand. His voice is so loud that it hurts my ears. I have to cover them. I know, I had to turn my volume down. It's so loud. Besides, this man tried to kidnap me in the past. I reflexively take a step back.
おお、そう警戒しないでくれたまえ。女王陛下が君たちの保護を決定された以上、我が輩は常に君たちの味方である。
Stop yelling. Like, we can hear you, man. On our side, maybe for now. It doesn't feel quite right knowing that we've fought in the past.
で、近衛兵長であるお前がなぜこの件を任されている？
Because it involves a serial killer, probably.
ヤードが事態を隠蔽しようとしたおかげで、これまでに何人も犠牲者が出ているのでな。
Well, there you go.
これ以上犠牲者を増やすことはできないと、女王陛下は私を通じてこの一件の捜査に介入するおつもりのようだ。
大方、ジャック・ブラックマンの正体に世間の目がいかないようにという配慮だろう。ヒドンストレングスの実験には女王の認可が下りていることくらい私も知っている。
Yeah.
臭いものに蓋をするのはどのような権力者でも同じだな。
Wanted to take care of this quietly.
陛下はどのような罪にも手を染める覚悟でこの国を守っていらっしゃるのだ。その御心、貴様に何がわかる？
Lionheart looks somewhat pained. He shakes his head when he notices me looking at him.
それに今回はそれだけが理由ではない。
What else is there? Lionheart leans in towards us, his intense expression making it clear that he is extremely conscious of those around us.
今回の一件、思ったより根深いのだ。女王陛下はジャックよりむしろ厳重な警護を破り、奴の脱走を手助けした者に注目しておられる。
脱走幇助を行ったのは単独犯か？
いや、複数犯だと聞いている。ヤードの手だれに反撃の機会さえ与えない凄まじい手腕だったようだ。そのような力を持つ反社会的な組織の存在はやがて王室の、ひいてはイギリスの脅威となる。女王陛下はそのように推測された。
なるほど。死生者としての勘というところか。
And Helsing, do you think? As if he knows what I'm about to say, Van Helsing turns to face Lionheart.
レオンハルト。我々はジャックの脱走幇助をしたと思われる者の情報を持っている。
何？本当か？
教えてもいいが、条件がある。
Get his evil smile, he's going to negotiate something.
今後、この事件の背後にいる者の情報は、どんなものでも私に伝えてもらおう。
そんなことを知ってどうするというのだ？
興味がある。それだけのことだ。
Lionheart looks at Van Helsing with searching eyes for a moment, but Van Helsing only stares back coolly.
ヘルシング、K の功績は知っている。K が今後調査に協力するというのなら、すべての情報を渡すと約束しよ
う。いいだろう。取引成立だな。私たちが見たものについて話そう。
He's super pleased with himself. I nod and we tell him about the thing we saw and experienced in the sewage canal. Jack had been told to look for a certain individual by an unknown person. That person left a message for him in the sewers canals. Azoth. I have no idea what it means, but that was the name the person controlling Jack was calling themselves. As long as Azoth lives, incidents like this will continue, or so that person claimed. Azoth also declared that if we don't find the individual that they are looking for, the body count will only rise, and London will overflow with evil.
アゾット、ロンドンに悪意があふれるとは。それに、アゾットが探す人物とは何者だ。その人物と接触すれば、何か捜査に進展があるかもしれないな。
I don't think that will happen. I don't know anything.
なぜそう思うのだ。君はまさか。
Oh no, I responded without thinking.
バカが余計なことを。
It's her, isn't it? That's what they're looking for? I don't think that will happen. I don't know anything. Oh yeah, she's talking about herself. I don't know. I don't know what they want.
君は挑戦もせずにすぐ諦めるような現代ロンドンの嘆かわしい若者なのだな。諦めてはいかんぞ。何事も挑戦からだ。
He's back to shouting again. Right.
単純な男で助かるな。
I nod in agreement.
しかし、アゾットか。どのような意味か私にはわからないが、ここ数日の出来事と関係があるのかもしれんな。
ここ数日の出来事だと？何かあったのか？
ジャックの脱走事件で隠れているが、ここ数日で凶悪犯罪の発生件数が増加傾向にあるのだ。
有言実行ということか。おそらく今後ますます事件の発生件数は増えていくことになるだろうな。
Leonhardt nods, his face serious.
それを未然に防ぐのが我々英国騎士の役目。この任務、前例をもって当たらせてもらおう。
それは構わないが、この駅士の役目は王室の安全を図ることだろう。ロンドン市内を走り回っていては本来の任がおろそかになるだけではないのか。
心配無用。国民が安らかな日々を送ることこそが王室の安全にもつながるとの女王陛下の仰せである。ならば女王陛下に剣を捧げた我が輩は何をすべきか。陛下のご意志を現実のものとするまでだ。
He's so loud. But he's also unbelievably passionate.
お前は叫ばなければ話ができないのか。
おお、失礼。陛下のこととなるとつい熱が入ってしまってな。
では私たちは私たちなりにアゾットを追う。定期的に集まり得られた情報を交換するとしよう。
Leonhardt nods vigorously and holds out his hand.
我らの間にもいろいろとあったが、英国を守るという大義のため共に戦おうではないか。
And Helsing doesn't take Leonhardt's hand. Instead, he looks down at it, then back up at Leonhardt.
戦うに足る大義などこの世にない。私はこの世でただ一人、私のために戦う。
You have a deal,
それ
but
だけだ。
not shaking your hand. Leonhardt's brow furrows, and he's about to say something.
レオンハルト殿、瓦礫の下から遺体が発見されました。
何？すぐ行く。では二人とも以降よろしく頼むぞ。
The body of the woman, I think, probably. Leonhardt raises his voice and noisily takes off.
根は単純だが、それなりに使えそうだな。
Van Helsing,
なんだ？
do you think we could leave now?
私に聞くな。
Just go, it's fine. After that, by the time we finish speaking with Lanhart regarding how to get in contact with each other, it is already midnight. It's pitch black.
ああ、
Van Helsing, thank you so much for today.
礼はいらないと言っている。何度感謝すれば気が済むんだ、お前は。
Oh, let her thank you. You saved my life. I'll never be able to thank you enough. But Van Helsing, I really can't go back to the others.
理由は
If I'm there, I'll cause trouble for everyone else. I can't put them through that.
ち、そんなことか。
He sighs, mildly annoyed, and then stops. He looks slightly up at the sky.
迷惑かどうかは他の連中に聞くことだな。だが、私はお前がそばにいなければ困る。
Aw, is he already falling for her? I need you to stay close to me. What?
私にはお前が必要だ。
Aw, that's so cute. I wasn't expecting him to say that this early. He really is the type of guy that hides his feelings under this mask, and he rarely takes off the mask to show to anyone. This is the one of the few times he takes off the mask. My heart hurts. Just that one phrase. When Van Helsing said that he needs me, my whole chest felt tight. Why?
単純な理由だ。
Oh yeah, and then he's gonna put the mask back on. I could just see it, hear it in his voice. He turns and looks at me straight in the eye. But for some reason, his gaze is colored with rejection, much like when he had first met.
フィーニスが生きている。
Yeah, he's like, I need you to get to fitness. Wahaha, I'm gonna use you. How dare you? How dare you ruin the moment?
奴はまだ生きていて、お前を狙っている。お前という存在を通して、フィーニスの秘密を知ることも、あるいはできるかもしれない。
A different pain arises in my chest. I wonder why.
次こそは、私が引導を渡してみせる。
I genuinely feel sad for some reason.
そのために、お前が必要だ。
Why do you have so much hate for fitness? Why must you kill him?
お前には関係のないことだ。
And he's gonna drive that wedge in between them. That it's gonna be there like the whole route. So annoying. He's not letting me in. Yep, he's got that wall up. For some reason, this makes me angry, but at the same time, I feel like that he's right and hate myself for feeling this way. That is my concern. My words burst out of me. Fitness has an important connection to me and father, and besides, Van Helsing, you're my precious friend, aren't you? He quietly exhales, then glares back at me.
いつ仲間になった？
You're trying to keep a wall in between you. You don't want to let her get closer to you. You're afraid, man. What? His tone is annoyed as usual. But this time, it's not the familiar annoyance between two friends. This has a distinct ring of rejection.
私は私の目的のためにお前を利用しているだけだ。
People like Van Helsing don't ever say stuff like this unless they're trying to keep distance from them.
それはお前も同じだろ？カルディア。
No, he actually likes you. This picture of you is really beautiful, by the way.
もともと私たちが一緒にいる理由はお互いの利益のためだ。
Yeah, I keep using that first excuse as your only reason.
これまでもこれからもその事実が変わることなどない。
I consider you a friend. But I think of you as a friend, and you're very important to me. Gonna make him even more determined to push you away now. I never thought that I just wanted to use you.
それが何の関係がある？私は現にお前を利用してきた。そしてこれからも利用していくつもりだ。
People only use the term using you when they're trying to forcibly make you stay back. Keep your feelings apart. But otherwise, that's just too mean to even say to anyone, even if you're not a friend.
私を仲間だと思うな。
And it begins. Even if you're only using me, I'd still like for you to be my friend. Is there a reason why I shouldn't? I can't tell if we're friends or not just because we're using each other. Even if we are using each other, as long as we're considerate of one another's feelings, that makes us friends. So no matter what you think, I consider you a friend of mine.
私には仲間など必要ない。
His face looks so sad as he says that. No matter how you feel about me, you're my friend. You're special to me. For a short moment, we look at one another directly in the eyes without looking away. The clouds drift along behind us. Then...
ならば、勝手にそう思っていればいい。
But it seemed like Van Helsing's eyes had wavered slightly as he said this. Yes, we know what you really feel, even if you want to pretend this whole route. Just for an instant. Only an instant, but I feel like I was able to touch the emotions that he usually keeps hidden from the rest of the world. Van Helsing, why do you have to kill Finnis? Where does this anger come from? Van Helsing turns his back to me and begins walking away without saying anything. Tell me, if you're going to use me and need me to stay close, I want to know as much as I can about you.
復讐だ。
His response is short and firm.
あの男だけは許すことができない。
I sense a deep anger in his voice, but before I can ask anything more, Van Helsing stalks off alone, almost disappearing into the darkness. I make my way back to St. Germain's mansion on my own. I notice a small figure standing before the doors.
ようやく戻ってきたか。遅い帰りだな。
Ellie looks up at me. You were waiting for me?
何を言うか。世が待ちたかったわけではない。これは獅子の付き添いだ。
I was just watching Cece, who's waiting for you. He's so cute. As if on cue, Cece pokes his head out from between Deli's legs. Cece happily runs in circles around me and Deli.
その身支度を見る限り、もう帰ってこないと思っていたがな。
Yes, I thought that too.
ヘルシングは一緒ではないのか？ルパンたちが奴が送ってくるとそう言っていたはずだが。
Oh, he's not back yet. And Helsing had somewhere to go. Oh, I guess he didn't go back. I suddenly remember that Deli despises Van Helsing. I don't know what exactly happened between the two of them, but Deli said that Van Helsing is the one who took his family away from him.
貴様はあの男を随分と気に入っているようだな。
I don't know if that's really the right way to put it. Hey Deli, what you said about him, is it true?
何がだ？
That he, your mother and father...
ああ、殺したのは奴だ。間違いない。
I see.
もっとも、母上に関しては、すでに事切れた亡骸を見つけただけであって、今和の際を世が直接見たわけではないがな。状況から見ても、奴が手を下したのだろ それゆえに余は貴様に忠告する。これ以上あの男に入れ込むのはやめておくことだ。
What?
忘れたのか？あの男は自らの目的を遂げれば世に殺される運命だ。貴様は世に一人になるなと言ってくれた。世がいつの日かあの男を殺すとき、貴様が悲しむ顔など世は見たくないのだ。
Whatever's between the two of them is something I shouldn't interfere with. Being an outsider, I probably can't begin to comprehend the pain or suffering they've inflicted on one another.
さっさと中に入ったらどうだ？みんな貴様の帰りを待っている。
Yes, thank you for waiting for me here, Deli.
例ならシシーに言うことだ。
Thank you too, Cece. I smile at Cece's response and then enter the mansion.
カルディア、よかった。無事だったんだね。
Yes, I'm sorry to worry you.
おお、本当に本当にもう超心配したんだよ。
MP, I'm sorry. I'm fine, so please don't cry.
君が無事ならそれでいいんだよ。
私はあなたが無事であると信じていましたよ。お帰りなさい。
Saint Germain, you're so cute. I should make these videos more quickly than like every 2 or 3 days so I could get to your route and reread you. Thank you for having faith.
何を考えたのかは知らねえが、一言も言わずに出ていくとは随分と薄情じゃねえか。
I just didn't want to cause trouble.
迷惑だ。何言ってんだお前は。一人で出てく方がよっぽど迷惑だっつうの。
I'm sorry.
なんだかんだみんな死ぬほど心配したんだぞ。
Including Van Helsing. I see.
言っとくがな、俺たちはしぶてんだ。お前が何者だろうが何に巻き込まれようが自分のことは自分で何とかする。俺たちにはお前が必要なんだよ。そしてお前には俺たちが必要だ。そうだろ？
Yes.
反省してるか？
Yes.
ならいい。
As long as you know how we feel.
お前の過去は知らねえ。これからどうしたいのか、どうなっていくのかもよくわからねえが、一つだけ確かなことがある。
This place?
他のどこでもねえ。ここはお前の居場所だ。遠慮なんか一つもいらねえんだよ。
They're all so warm and comforting.
大丈夫？泣いてるの？
Aww. She wants Van Helsing to be here.
どこか痛いの？怪我？病気？僕が見ようか。
Poor Victor. Thank you, I'm fine.
とりあえずお茶の準備をしましょうか。まずは一服。皆さん一度落ち着きましょう。
Saint Germain's comment lightens the mood. Everyone is smiling and I really do feel that I've come home. At the same time, I feel helpless and anxious because Van Helsing is not with us. After that, I tell everyone everything that had happened. They're all surprised, but nobody interrupts. They listen intently until I finish speaking. And that's everything I saw.
屋敷から出た途端にとんでもない経験してたんだね。
MP is the first to say anything after I'm done telling my story.
まあ何にせよ、お前が無事でよかった。 その辺はバンに感謝だな。
ジャックを操っていた人物が気になりますね。その方はあなたを狙っているのでしょう、カルディアさん。
Yes, it seems that way.
アゾット。ジャックを操っていた男はそう名乗ったんだね。
I think I knew who the voice was, but I think it to be kept secret for a bit, so I'm not gonna say anything. Yes, do you know what it means?
ああ、錬金術師の中じゃ馴染み深い言葉だよ。アゾットは水銀という意味なんだ。
意味なら俺でも知ってるけどさ、水銀って名乗るってのはどういうことなんだろうな。
錬金術の世界では別の意味を持つ言葉なんだよ。
What does it mean then?
アゾットは賢者の石の別名でもあるんだ。その言葉の意味は始まりであり終わり。つまりジャックを操った者は何かを終わらせて同時に何かを始めるもの、そう言いたかったんじゃないのかな。
なるほど。アルファベットの最初の文字 A とラテン語、ギリシア語、ヘブライ語、それぞれの言語の最後の文字をつなぎ合わせてアゾット。確かに始まりであり終わりです。神聖に属し完全を象徴する言葉というわけですね。
それつまり自分が神だって言いたいわけ？はあ、自己主張の激しい野郎だね。とにかくお前が狙われてるってのは間違いねえんだろ。
So it seems Van Helsing thinks that Azoth is actually Finnis.
フィニス？いやいや、そりゃおかしいっしょ。だってあいつはね
ええ、そんなことがあり得るとは思えませんが。
The conversation dies for a moment. Finnis definitely died. Everyone's probably thinking the same thing. Van Helsing, I wonder why he has so much hatred for Finnis. We all look at one another.
バンは黄昏に所属していた。それならフィーニスは彼に命令する立場にあったはず。吸血鬼戦争が終結した後、バンが黄昏をやめたのと何か関係があるのかな。
Victor is onto something. Everyone looks serious and falls silent. It can't be helped, we don't know anything for certain.
ともかく今俺たちにできることはただ一つ。アゾットとかいう悪趣味野郎をとっ捕まえることだ。
The Azoth fool.
そいつがフィーニス本人とはどうにも思えねえが、フィーニスに関係するやつって可能性もあるかもしれねえしな。
I nod gravely.
ところでバンは今どこに？てっきりあなたと戻ってくるものだと思っていましたが。
Nope, he's pretending to be distant. I don't know, he just said to go ahead without him.
そうですか。ひとまず夕食にしましょうか。あなたは大変な目にあったのですし、まずは食べて眠って体を休めなければ。
Yes, I'll do that, thank you. Things are peaceful for a while after that. However, I don't see Van Helsing again that whole day. That's the only thing that concerns me. That night at midnight, in the forest near London.
くそ、畜生、なぜ私が狙われるんだ。化け物め。
Footsteps draw near. The man's family and servants have all been murdered. There was nothing he can do. They were only props for the sake of appearance. He could replace them at any time, but he cannot replace his own life. He has run quite far already. He can see the faint lights of the city through the trees, almost there. If he can only reach the gates. He suddenly hears footsteps behind him. I'm going to die. He feels this instinctively and quickly spins around, drawing his pistol. He fires without hesitation, but the figure he had sensed behind him is nowhere to be seen. The thing that was chasing him is still out there, looking in the darkness, waiting for its chance to strike.
どこだどこにいる化け物め出てこい
He wants to run as fast as he can, but he feels with great certainty that the moment he turns his back, death will leap upon him.
復讐のつもりなのか無駄なことはやめろお前らは負けたんだお前らはもう滅びる運命なんだ
I think he's talking about a vampire, but I don't remember this at all, so I have no idea.
あいややべやめてやべ
I was like, how many times is it going to happen? Jeez. His screams finally stop. They stopped after like 5 punches ago. The only sound is that of the insects in the night. Oh my gosh, he just brutally murdered someone. The next morning, I awake in my bed. Last night, I fell asleep the moment I lay down. I didn't realize it, but I must have been completely worn out, both physically and mentally. Compared to last night, my body and my mind feel much lighter. Oh. I look at the clock and see that it's already time for breakfast. They've worried so much about me, I should at least help. I think this as I rush to the dining room, which is already done, right? Everyone has already gathered there.
遅かったな。
Oh, there he is. Van Helsing is here and I sigh with relief. However, nobody is eating. There's tea and some simple snacks on the table. In the center is a single page from a newspaper. Oh. Good morning. It's past breakfast time, but did something happen? Van Helsing taps his finger on an article in the newspaper.
アゾットが動き出した。なかなか軽快なフットワークの持ち主のようだな。
What? I read the article Van Helsing pointed out to me. A mass murder, the word Azoth written in blood. Mass murder. I furrow my brow and continue reading. Last night in the forest near London, a Viscount Brandel's mansion was attacked. The man's family and servants were killed, and the yard announced that the wounds are consistent with an animal like a bear. However, Viscount Brandel himself was found dead in the forest a small distance from his mansion. The word Azoth was written on a tree that he was leaning against, apparently with what it seems to be the Viscount's blood. Scotland Yard has been under recent scrutiny after the attempt cover-up of Jack the Ripper's escape. A picture accompanies the article. It's a grainy photograph showing the letters written on a tree in blood. This is the one who controlled Jack.
ああ、おそらくな。
バン、君はこれもフィーニスの仕業だっていうの？
その可能性は高いだろうな。奴は私の過去を知っているようだったからな。疑うにはそれだけで十分だ。私は現場に向かう。お前たちはどうする？
行くに決まってんだろ。こいつが狙われてる以上、俺たちだって無関係じゃいられねえんだ。
右に同じ。
僕もだ。こんな事件がずっと続くなら放っておけないよ。
皆さんが行くというのであれば、私も同行させていただきましょう。
We're just gonna make it a big band party, a bandwagon party. Thank you, everyone.
今回は世も行かせてもらおう。
Dracula's going. His voice comes out of nowhere. Belly, who so far has been avoiding the rest of us, is watching us intently.
この件には世も関わる。
Oh, well, then welcome aboard, inviting yourself. Oh, involving himself. Oh, involve. That's fine, but is something bothering you? Does anything about this stand out to you?
確かなことがわかるまでは何も教える気はない。だが、この件、見過ごすわけにはいかないのだ。
Maybe it was a vampire if Jelly's getting involved.
いいな、ヴァン・ヘルシング。
I mean, the chapter is titled Vampire.
私の許可など取る必要はない。
You're a grown boy. You can make your own decisions. And Helsing says this curtly, then leaves the dining area.
あいつ飯食わないで行きやがった。腹減って倒れても知らねえぞ。
しかしどうにもバンは落ち着いていないように見えますね。
Yes, I won't let him go alone. Let's all go together. The others all agree.
はあ、仕方ね。サンドイッチでも作っていくか。
You're packing him a sandwich like some kind of housewife. That's kind of funny.
殺人現場を見た後に食欲が出るか疑問だけどね。
I thought he's gonna be poking fun at him for making him a sandwich, but that makes sense too. The crime scene isn't far and we arrive at Viscount Brandl's mansion after an hour's walk. I didn't think such a violent crime would take place so close to our own mansion.
もうすぐですよ。ブランドル子爵の屋敷はこの木立の向こうですね。
Just as he says, we can see what appears to be the roof of a large building just past the trees before us.
ああ、ダメダメ。ここから先は立ち入り禁止だよ。
どこの記者さん？上からのお達しでこれ以上情報を漏らすわけにはいかないんだ。
Two police officers step in front of us.
レオンハルトから調査協力を依頼されているヴァン・ヘルシングというものだが。
There you go. You have all the you have all the clearance that you need.
ヘルシングってあの人間兵器ヴァンヘルシング？
バカ野郎。お前今朝の女性記者なんてビクトリア女王とか名乗ってただろ。
Yeah, but everyone should know what the queen looks like. Why would you get fooled by that?
それで通しちまうんだから。
Oh my
お前も
goodness.
大概素直すぎんだよ。
I know, like, don't you guys know what your ruler looks like?
そうか。悪いが、誰も通すなとレオンハルト殿に命じられているのだ。ありゃ、もしかして話が通じないタイプ？なあ、おいバン。お堅い役人にゃ何言っても無駄だぜ。
Just go around.
なんだと貴様！
As Zippy and the policeman begin to argue, I see a familiar figure running towards us. Running. Ah.
こらこら、お前たち、何を騒いで。
レオンハルト、ちょうどいいところに出くわしたな。私を現場へと案内してほしいのだが。
おう、ヘルシングではないか。よく来てくれた。
What the officer's gonna say.
本物？
Yep.
マジかよ。やべえ。俺、後でサインもらいたい。
Pay no mind to the excited policeman, Van Helsing and Lionheart greet each other briskly. Lionheart even seems somewhat cheerful. Van Helsing's skills must be regarded quite highly.
事態がこうも早く動くとはな。私としても予想外の出来事だ。
よう、レオンのおっさん。相変わらず暑苦しいね。
He's just as hot-headed as ever.
ルパン貴様。
Lionheart's expression immediately changes at the sight of Lupin, who had been hiding behind the rest of us.
国家反逆罪、公務執行妨害、陛下と我が輩に対する名誉毀損で逮捕だ。
Defamation. Lionheart quickly grabs Lupin and handcuffs his hands behind his back.
おいおい、レオンのおっさんよ。俺らはその女王陛下様に保護されてんの忘れたのか？
Gotta rub that in his face. The handcuffs fall to the ground in an instant.
何？貴様、今どうやった？え？
アゾットの件は互いに協力して調査に当たる。そうだったな、レオンハルト。
Lupin's like, I get to rub it in your face. Lionheart picks up the handcuffs and expects them furiously and then nods somewhat reluctantly.
ルパンまで来るとは。まあいい。まずは屋敷に案内しよう。
With Lionheart's grudging agreement, Lupin and the others begin to follow him. Delia and I tried to join the group. Oh?
お前たちは来るな。
Oh my goodness. You're gonna be so mean to her. This is why I hated his route so much. What? Why?
猛獣に襲われたありさまと書かれていただろう。現場は相当ひどいことになっているは
Oh,
ずだ。
whatever. You know it's not a beast. Okay, we know like the reader knowledge, but he was literally like punched to death. How did they take a beast out of that? I don't. Whatever.
気分を悪くして足手まといになるよりはここにいる方が幾分マ
I'm
シだ。
getting in everyone's way. Gosh, he's being so mean.
大した時間は取らせないだろ
He's choosing all the mean words to just keep her away. All right.
ミオにとっては余計な世話に過ぎぬ。2年前、あまたの同胞を弔ったのは余だ。血に濡れた屋敷など、
Nor is a
今更どう
beast.
とも思わぬ。
A beast is not going to face him at all. He could punch out the beast, no problem. Deli.
う。ならば止める必要もない。
Oh my gosh, that's like
来るがいい。
it's like salt in the wound. Okay, fine, you can come, but you still have to stay. Van Helsing and the others walk off, and I stand for a while waiting for them. I'm surprised no one came to her defense. It's been some time, and they haven't come out yet. There's probably a lot to investigate. I look around the area for a bit. Then I find something red on the ground near some bushes. Is this blood? I look closer. There are a lot of tracks here, as if multiple people had been walking back and forth right here. I remember something Lupin told me. Footprints can leave a lot of clues behind. That's why a good thief takes care to never ever leave footprints behind. They're different sizes, but all the same shape, probably the police officers. That means there's something over here that had gotten their attention. I better go take a look. I follow the footprints and bloodstains to the edge of the forest. Whoa. Then I push through the thicket and see it. Red is smeared all over the tree trunk. The word Azoth written in what is most likely the victim's blood. The paper had said that the Viscount Randall was killed alone as he was trying to escape. He probably died right here. I feel like I'm being watched and look up, but there's no one here. I suddenly feel nervous, and even the sound of the tree tops swaying in the breeze feels eerie. I should go back at once and...
あれなんでこんなところに
I was gonna say, she's gonna get kidnapped because you guys left her alone. Should teach you a lesson, Van Helsing. I turn around in surprise and discover Impy standing there. Lupin and the others appear as well, with Lionheart standing in the very back. They just kind of wandered off here without you knowing. I'm sorry for walking around on my own, but I found this place while I was waiting and...
いや、別に問題ねえさ。ここら一帯は今のとこヤードが密集してる。特に危ない場所はねえはずだからな。
うん、当然だな。
And Helsing steps away from the rest and stares up at the word Azoth. What is it, Van Helsing?
この血文字。以前見たものと筆跡が違うな。おそらくだが、 それぞれの事件実行犯に何らかの支援をする見返り、もしくは忠誠の証として、この血文字を主犯であるアゾットが書かせているということだろ
それはまた悪趣味でありつつ人使いの荒い犯人ですね。
That's probably a message from Azoth to hand me over.
う。余計なことを考えるのはやめておけ。
You can tell?
ああ。お前の頭の中は自分で考えているよりよほど単純だからな。
Simpler than you might imagine.
それでは我々は引き続き現場検証を続けるが、諸君はどうするつもりだね。
何か証拠になるものが残っているかもしれません。僕も協力しますよ。
Lupin, MP, and Saint Germain all agree with Victor's intentions. I probably won't be of much use here. What should I do?
ならば私についてこい。現場連中の手数を減らすくらいならば、私といる方が有事の手間が省ける。
Man, everything that he says is just like, here, you can come with me. We're like, oh, we get to go with Van Helsing, but it's like, if you're worried about inconveniencing people, you'll less inconvenience me. Just like, everything he says, he's just got to sour coat it with stuff. Are you going to investigate the crime scene here?
ああ。少し当てがある。そこへ出向くつもりだ。
Him?
あて、なんだそりゃ。俺も一緒に行くか？
来たければ自由にすればいい。ただ、私がこれから向かうのは、エルロック・ショルメの拠点だがな。
It's like, absolutely not. After that, Van Helsing, Deli, and I head for Barker Street where Sholmes lives. Needless to say, Lupin didn't want to come with us after all. I know, right? This is the middle-class district where rows of houses line the streets. According to Lionheart, the place where Sholmes keeps his office and lodging is on this street. Deli, are you sure you didn't want to stay behind at the crime scene?
なぜだ？
He's like, why? You seemed very interested in the news this morning.
気にしなくていい。大体のことは分かった。あれ以上、あそこにいても無意味だ。
He just wanted to rule out if it was a vampire. Probably. I mean, that would make sense to me. Deli sounds a lot more confident than usual. Could this be because of Van Helsing's presence?
それよりもヘルシング、貴様、気づいているだろうな。
当然だ。この程度を見逃すほど、
Being followed by
私の視野
someone?
は狭くない。
Like they're being followed. What are you two talking about? Instead of responding, Van Helsing and Deli suddenly turn down an alleyway. We're going to leave them down there. What's the matter? Why are we running? I ask as they grab my hands.
その角を曲がれ。ドラクロは分かっているな。
世に指図するな。
Still holding hands, we turn down again down an even narrower alley and hide in the shadows. I finally understand what they're doing as I make sure to stay well hidden. Immediately after that, where'd they go? The tracker who had lost sight of us appears at the alley's mouth and runs towards us in a panic. And Helsing and Deli look at each other and nod. They jump out of hiding at the same moment.
下手に動くな。動けば、それ相応に対処する。
I'll have to, he pauses to react.
世を追跡しようとは、人間風情が思い上がりおって。
これはなるほど。私の負けらしい。
Is it Alistair?
降参だ。
Is Alistair following you? That seems quite the important man to be following you. Oh yeah, Van Helsing's like, huh? He's like, I'll have to react. He didn't want to say kill you or shoot you. Van Helsing and I both sigh in relief as the man raises his hands. You're from Twilight. The man standing before us is the same one who had captured me during the attempt to kidnap Phineas on the train. I take a step back and prepare myself to react appropriately in case something happens. And Helsing doesn't seem to be bothered at all, however. Why not?
ドラクロはこの男は敵ではない。味方だ。
He's an ally. He wasn't your ally on the train. When Helsing lowers his gun.
何を言っている。黄昏という組織はそこの女を狙う敵であろう。
いいや、この男だけは例外だ。
So Deli gives Van Helsing a quizzical look. He slowly relaxes.
お前にしては随分と雑な追跡だったな。
They're acting all buddy-buddy, and on the train they fought each other. I think Van Helsing even, like, threatened you.
すまない。君の腕がなまっていないかどうか試させてもらったよ、バン。
Why does it say question mark? We already know who he is.
だとしたら甘く見すぎだ。
Van Helsing, who is this? Maybe we didn't learn his name. Maybe he told us the name in MP's route during the part where we said we're going to go with MP. He's the one that stopped us.
正式に名乗ったことはなかったかな。私の名はジミー・ A ・アレスター。以後お見知りおきよ、カルディア君。
Hey, Cardia Coon. Why would you call her that?
黄昏ではそれなりに地位のある立場を務めているよ。
And you're our enemy after all.
いつぞやは失礼したね。フィーニスの前ではああするしか方法はなかったのだ。
安心しろ。この男は私の盟友だ。私と共にフィーニスに裏切られ、私と同じ目的を抱いている。もっとも、私がフィーニス自身を狙い、アレスターは組織そのものを狙うという違いはあるがな。
Yeah, so I don't remember this route very well, so I forgot that it even started out this way. All I know is how it ended.
黄昏に降りた命令をリークし、カルディア、私にお前の情報を教えてくれたのもこのアレスターだ。それ以降は連絡がつかなくなり、随分と苦労をさせられたがな。
それを言われると痛いが、多めに見てほしいものだ。奴の目を盗んで連絡を取るのは至難の技だ。
But when we were on that train, Venus was about to capture me. Van Helsing could have been killed. There's no way you were secretly on our side back then, Alistair.
列車での出来事かね。あれは後で助け出すつもりだったのだよ。バンもそうだ。もともと殺すつもりなどなかった。
I don't believe you. I can't trust you. I know. We're on the same page, Cardia. If Lupin hadn't saved us, both Van Helsing and I would be dead. I felt an intense, indescribable pressure, and I stared directly into Alistair's face. However, Alistair does not appear to be too troubled, and only strokes his beard while he responds softly.
私がいくら本当だと言ったところで逆効果かな。とはいえ、信じてもらう以外にないのだがね。
I still don't trust him, but Van Helsing is the first to back him up.
お前の言葉を疑う必要などない。あの窮地の中、私たちに少しでも有利になるようにことを運んでいたのだろう。お前の手腕ならば、私が誰よりも知っている。
過大評価ではないかね。あまりこの老いぼれに期待しすぎないことだ。
It's apparent that these two trust each other. If Van Helsing has that much faith in him, does that really make him an ally? Well, if he has a lot of faith in him, it would make him an ally, yes, but I still don't think you should trust him. Are you saying that you saved my life?
そう大げさなものではないさ。気にする必要はない。
Whatever, we're not giving you credit for the save. That was Lupin. Lupin saved her.
ただ、元教え子の友人とあれば、私としては助けたくもなるというものだ。
Your student?
ああ。アレスターは大学の教授でもある。私もその折には勉強を見てもらっていた。
There's a lot more than that. I guess we'll get into that later. Alistair smiles and nods.
名ばかりの教授だがね。暇があったら遊びに来てほしい。バンの友人であれば、いつでも歓迎しよう。
それでアレスターと言ったか。貴様はヘルシングに何の用だ。世間話をしに来たわけではあるまい。
Ellie, who had been watching from the side, speaks to Alistair with an almost hostile intensity. He seems to still be on the fence regarding Alistair.
そう睨まないでほしいものだ。もちろんここへ来たのは、ヨタ話が目的ではない。
He takes a small breath and begins to speak quietly.
フィーニスが表向きに死んだことで、私もようやく自由に行動することができるようになった。
I was gonna say, why are you going along with the Finis's death? Well, he said at least publicly. Yeah, there you go.
表向き？どういうことだ？やはりあの地下研究所に現れたフィーニスは偽物だというのか？
That's what I want to know as well. Is Azoth actually Finis? If that's true, then who was the person who died in Fala's underground facility?
おそらくだが、君たちの見たフィーニスは影武者か何かなのだろうな。
I'm sorry, I find it funny because body double, it can be taken like kind of literally if you know what he is. It's really funny. I'm sure they explained Finis in this one, right? They have to.
では奴は今も。
Yep, now you can get your revenge, he's still alive.
信じがたいことだが、十中八九フィーニスは生きているだろう。かくいう私も言葉こそ交わしていないが、この目で見ているのだよ。
You've seen him wandering around.
彼が死んだとされる翌日に、彼が宮殿内を練り歩く姿をね、久しぶりに背筋が凍りついたよ。
How could it be?
間違いない。あれはフィーニスだった。
That house, he's so angry.
くそ。やはり奴は不死身だというのか。そんな馬鹿げたことが。
落ち着けばん。どちらにせよ、これまでと違い、フィーニスは公式の場に姿を現さなくなった。とはいえ、その間に一体何をしているのかは、まだつかみかねているが。
いや、ある程度の予想はついている。己の片割れを探してさまよう怨霊といったところだろう。
His other half.
何どういう意味だ？
And Helsing spends some time telling Alistair everything that had happened. Jack the Ripper, the word Azoth written in blood, the recent mass murder.
なるほど。それが本当にフィーニス主導のものであるなら、相当に奴は狂ってしまったようだな。
奴の狂いようなど、今に始まったことではない。
Always been crazy. And Helsing grinds his teeth, you mean?
だがフィーニスが姿を消したことで、結果としてある程度黄昏の指揮権を私の手に取り戻せた。今後黄昏は君の味方だと思っていいぞ、バン。何より君の復讐には正義がある。
Moving forward, at least for a little bit, we can consider you an ally.
私のではない。私たちのだろう。
All of us.
ああ、そうだった。フィーニスは今、かつてないほど追い詰められているよ。すべてが終わるまで。もう一息だ。
ああ。
I sense a special connection between them, one that I shouldn't interfere with as I watch them shake hands. For some reason, I find this upsetting.
さて、ここで長話も良くないようだ。君の小さな彼女がこちらを睨んでいる。
Your little girlfriend is getting Your little girlfriend is glaring daggers. I'm not glaring.
冗談だよ、お嬢さん。では達者でな、バン。何か進展があり次第、知らせるとしよう。
That's funny, he called her his little girlfriend. Yeah, we shouldn't trust you. No, not trusted. Don't trust him. Alistair turns and disappears into the crowd on the main street as if melting into the scenery.
どうした？
What's with you? Huh?
妙に嬉しそうだが、何か思うことがあるのか？
She's relieved that he's gone. I'm kind of conflicted, but still a little happy.
どういう意味だ？
Because I know you have a friend. And Helsing has said that I was not his friend, but he referred to Alistair as his ally and seemed peaceful when he was there.
そんなことか。
Yeah, he said I don't need friends, but she's happy you have one all the same. That upsetting feeling I'd had earlier, it was probably because I want Van Helsing to see me as a friend and comrade just like that. For a while after that, we continued down Barker Street.
ここだな。
We arrive in front of a building in a row of apartments. It doesn't look like a detective's office.
ああ、そのようだな。レオンハルトの言葉が間違っていないなら、奴はここにいるはずだがな。
今更だが、そのショルメとかいう男、本当に役に立つのだろうな。
I think it would be very reassuring just to have him on our side. Even Lupin runs away at the sound of his name.
それは仕方ないさ。泥棒は探偵から逃げるのが役目なのだからね。
The door suddenly opens, revealing Sholmes.
そろそろ来る頃だろうと思っていた。歓迎しよう。さあ、中へ。
Van Helsing, did you tell him that we would be coming here?
いや、知らせていない。
He's a detective, what do you expect?
おそらくは、奴お得意の推理で、私たちの到着を予想していたんだろう。
And see, here's the scenery that was in MP's route. When she woke up from, I forgot what she collapsed from, if she collapsed from having the gym removed or whatnot, but yeah, it didn't mention that it was his office, and I'm just like, no one's saying anything, even Lupin's there, and he's not saying anything. We follow Sholmes into the apartment and are shown to an ordinary parlor. There's nothing here that I would have expected a detective's office to have.
本来の事務所はこの部屋ではないのだが、そちらは今、資料が散乱して足の踏み場もない。悪いが。
Got him off, I think it's fine. Oh, I like that.
要件は何かな？
What is it you want? He just sits down with tea. I like Sholmes. Sholmes had a good route.
ふん、お前のことだ。言わずとも分かっているのだろ
Well, yeah, he's a detective.
おや、随分と買いかぶるね。では、一つ当ててみることにしようか。
So Sholmes chuckles and gestures to us while he thinks aloud.
君たちが今日ここにやってきたのは、昨夜のアゾット事件に関して何かしらの情報を求めてきた。
I don't think
どうかな？
I don't think they really overestimate you because you're exactly right. You're right. How did you know?
何？単純な推測だ。私はここ近年、ひっそりと探偵業を営んでいる。以前はどのような依頼人も歓迎していたんだが、今は訳あって数を絞っているんだ。ロンドンに来てからもそうだ。この場所を知っているのはヤードのごく一部。それからレオンハルト兵長程度。
What do you mean, and maybe? Isn't he the one that gave them your address?
ここにたどり着いたということは、君たちは先のヤード、もしくはレオンハルト兵長との接触が考えられる。
Sholmes continues talking as he glances through the papers spread before him at his desk.
彼らは今、切り裂きジャックの事件、それに今回起きた大量殺人の裏にあるアゾットを追いかけるのに忙しい。そしてヘルシング、カルディア。君たちは切り裂きジャック事件、その被害者であるそうだね。
Make it sound like Jack was the one that died. I guess he did die. And maybe he did. Sholmes has easily surmised how we are related to the incident with Jack as well.
これらの点から共通する事項は、アゾット、例の事件だ。ならば君たちがここに来た理由は、探偵という職業を務める私から少しでも情報を引き出したい。そう考えるのが自然だと思うが、どうかな？
And you say we overestimate you. You've planned out this whole scenario in your head without being there. And you're like, is that about right? That's about right. It sums it up. Sholmes just shrugs. It's like he sees through everything we do. To him, we're open books. His gaze looks so omniscient that it feels a bit uncomfortable. Dele seems particularly bothered by Sholmes and naturally puts some distance between the two of them.
どうやら協力を仰ぐだけの価値はありそうだな。
You're worth requesting. Yeah, probably. He's like, if you need a detective, then you have Sholmes. That's all you need.
おや、
Oh, yeah?
お眼鏡にかなったかな？となれば、ここからはビジネスの話になる。私はプライベートと仕事を分けるたちでね。私は高いよ。
That's tuck money.
構わない。金はルパンが責任を持って払う。
That's funny. What? Is he sure he wants to make promises before he checks to see if it's acceptable? I know. Sholmes is going to build Lupin. Lupin's like, I'm not giving him nothing.
泥棒の金で探偵を雇うか。なかなか皮肉が効いていて面白い。
I know, right? You're a detective with thieves' money.
依頼内容は、アゾット事件の解明と、その真相を暴くことだね。
After that, Sholmes quietly listens to our story without showing any signs of surprise or shock. He knows it already.
なるほど。おおむね予想通りということか。これを見たまえ。
He spreads a map of the city out on the desk. There are dates and information written at a number of points on it.
ここ数ヶ月の事件のうち、ロンドン市内での凶悪事件の数は飛躍的に増大している。それに個人的に興味があってね、長々と調べていたんだが、そのうちに奇妙な共通点を見つけた。
A commonality?
なんだそれは。
なんだ。
これだよ。
Jones takes a separate set of papers from a drawer on his desk. It is a list of names and armed forces ranks. Several of the names on the top are crossed out. Viscount Brandl's name is one of the ones with a line through it.
これは吸血鬼戦争での功労者リストか。
Ooh. People who got commendations after the Vampire War.
その通り。政府筋に以前事件を解決した依頼人がいてね。そこからリストを回してもらった。
He gently traces his finger over the names with lines through them.
見れば理解できるかと思うが、犯人はこのリストに従い、上から順に対象を殺害している。
そのような奴ら、我ら吸血鬼からすれば死んで当然の連中だな。
Ellie quietly says this as he leans against the wall. And Helsing, your name is on here too.
次の者が殺されれば、君の順番が回ってくることになる。いいタイミングでここに来たね。
And Helsing's on the hit list.
ただ問題は、この極秘リストを犯人がどうやって手に入れたかだ。
実行犯が政府関係者、あるいはアゾットが政府関係者、そのどちらかということになるな。
うん。では私はアゾットが政府関係者である説を押すとしよう。
I have my suspicions.
多くの犯罪者に手を貸す協力者アゾット。ジャックの件を聞く限り、犯罪者を引きつけるカリスマ性と、それを操る知性を備える人物。さしずめ犯罪者の王といったところかな。とはいえ、残念ながら今はまだ調査中だ。アゾットの真意を知るのはまだ先のことかな。
アゾットはフィーニスだ。
I don't think it's Finnis, but I think it's someone associated with him. And Helsing states this quietly and but firmly, leaving no room for doubt. Sholmes seems mildly surprised.
フィーニス？それはイギリス軍事技術顧問のフィーニスのことを言っているのかな。彼がアゾットだと？
そうだ。
うん。その根拠は？
ジャックの件でフィーニスしか知り得ない情報をアゾットはメッセージとして残していた。
Information only Finnis would know. It was most likely
あの戦争の時と同じように。君はただの操り人形であればいい。
Alistair knows that too, though.
二度も失いたくはないだろう。
Of course, Alistair in this looks only like a teacher to Van Helsing, but Alistair was in Twilight, and Helsing was in Twilight. Alistair knows this too, so. Those words spoken by Azoth, puppet, lose someone precious. I wonder what it all means.
それが何かまでは話すつもりはないがな。
I know it's personal.
なるほど。うん。それならそれでいい。君の話は心に留めておくよ。それと私からも一つだけ忠告を。
John pulls himself upright and looks towards us.
今回アゾットを記した実行犯だが、これまでの彼の犯罪傾向を見る限り、彼は必ず2夜連続で犯行を行っている。つまり今夜、このリストの一番上の生存者が狙われることになるだろ
う。有益な情報だ。依頼した甲斐がある。
Good thing we've hired you.
どういたしまして。けれど、気をつけた方がいい。 相手は一筋縄ではいかないはずだ。何せブランドル子爵を殺したのは間違いなく吸血鬼だからね。
Okay. So my first theory was true. He was killed by a vampire. Yeah, someone punching him to death is obviously not a beast and strong enough to kill someone with their fist. I'm the only one who reacts in surprise. So yeah, Deli already knew, I guess, too, but it sounded like he was ruling it out. And Helsing and Deli both seem unfazed by Sholm's words.
そうであろうな。我らの憎き仇の一人が死に、あの屋敷の惨状。嫌が王でも思い出す。あの殺し方は、世がよく知る人物が最も得意としていたもの。
It was the style someone I knew very well knows best. Oh, okay, so he knows the vampire?
犯人は、世と同じ、純血の吸血鬼であろうよ。
We return to the Brandel estate and rejoin Lupin and the others. We relay Sholmes' information to Lionheart as well. By the time we return to St. Germain's mansion, the sun has already set. We gather in the lounge to discuss how to proceed from this point. Although Deli is with us, he doesn't say anything, choosing to simply listen to us talk.
すでに襲撃が予想される男の屋敷に無数のヤードが配備され、厳重に警備している。
And Helsing's voice carries quite well in the quiet room.
私はこれに合流し、実行犯である吸血鬼を捕まえるつもりでいる。だが、これは私の戦いだ。お前たちが無理に同行する必要はない。自分のツケは自分で払う。
The Lone Ranger. His expression is tight and stern. If I let him go through with this, he's going to go somewhere far away and I'll be unable to reach him. I'm coming too. Azoth is after me. I'm a part of this as well. I won't get in your way, so please let me come with you. How can I let you come? I stare at Van Helsing. My words come from my heart. As if synchronizing with my attitude, Lupin speaks up from the side.
当然、俺も同行するぜ。どうにしろ、アイザックへの手がかりはもう、そのアゾット野郎くらいしかねえからな。
They're like, no, you can't go alone, sorry.
そういうこと。そいつを取り逃がしたりなんかしたら、完全に手詰まりになっちゃうもんな。バンがバッチリそいつを捕まえられるように、ちょっとでも役に立ってやんよ。
動機が不純で申し訳ありませんが、私は事件そのものに興味があります。邪魔はしませんので、同行の許可をいただきたい。
My motives are not as honorable as yours. I know his own mission is to destroy his enemies. No matter what they are.
もちろん僕も行くよ。吸血鬼戦争が発端なら僕だって無関係じゃない。
Yes, it does.
結局全員で行く形になるのか。まあ、私の邪魔にならなければそれでいいがな。
He's like, just don't get in my way. Amidst all this, Victor timidly raises his hand.
でも一つ気になるんだけどさ。
何がだ？
いや、バンの言うように警備が強化されてるなら吸血鬼も今夜は諦めたりしないかなって。
それはない。
Ellie suddenly speaks up.
人間の数を増やしたところで何の意味も持たぬ。それではあの男の怒りに火を注ぐ結果にしかならない。
なんだよ。犯人について何か知ってんのか？
ああ。屋敷で見た戦闘の跡を見ればわかる。あれは我が父の一の進化だった者が戦った後だろう。奴はノインテーター、そう呼ばれていた。人間に恐れられ、 同族からは尊敬を集めた偉大なる吸血鬼の一人。
I don't remember this name at all. It was supposed to be just like a filler episode in Helsing
世
Truth.
の戦いにおける死でもある。この名前、お前も覚えているだろう、ヘルシング。
あ
かの者を捕らえるというのなら、世も行こう。世が奴を説得してみせる。同族が闇に落ちていく様を吸血鬼の名手として黙って見ているわけにはいかぬ。
Whatever, you're ready to make Cece your minion of darkness in MP3.
やめておけ。
なぜだ、貴様に世を止める権利などないはずだぞ。
あの惨状となった現場から伺えるように、奴は相当の憎しみを持って相手を破壊し尽くしている。おそらくいかにお前とて人間と共に行動していることが知れれば、奴はお前を殺そうとするだろう。その時、お前は同胞と戦えるのか？お前は自らの死と殺し合いができるのか？
Her own master?
それは。
It's not his master. He's his own master.
殺すつもりで挑まなければ、殺されるのはお前だ。足手まといは必要ない。ここでおとなしくしていることだな。
Taylor says nothing more to Van Helsing. Actually, he's probably shocked into silence. That night at midnight.
はっ、ヤードの警備などいらんよ。高い金を出して腕利きの用心棒たちを雇っているからな。
It's not gonna stop the vampire. The boys.
みんな吸血鬼戦争で活躍した豪傑たちだ。何が来たとしても恐るるに足らん。
Such an annoying voice.
しかしですな、ブランドル子爵のこともありますので、警備を強化して損はないというか。
この誇り高きモークリー、たかが一匹の吸血鬼のためにヤードの世話になれば社交界の笑い者だ。
Well, you can die with your pride then. I know what that man did. He believed a ridiculous rumor that the blood of a vampire brings eternal life. He drained the blood from many vampires who were captured and killed them. He can never be forgiven. Words flash in the back of his mind as hundreds of screams from his past eat away at his reasoning. They can never be forgotten.
お願いだからこの子だけは。
Vampirus, is that a word?
母上。
The voice echoes through his mind.
やめろ。
The voices go on and on, never stopping. They can never be forgiven. Humans can never be forgiven. His Nutote's voice echoes through the dark streets in the night. I'll say that name, I hope I said it right. While everyone is shocked, the bodyguards are the first to take action. They all quickly aim their guns, but before any of them can pull a trigger, Nuntote's... Tote? I don't know how to say it. Nuntote has twisted the neck of an unnatural direction until it snaps under his extreme strength. Gross. I don't want to hear this sound. I don't like it. As guard after guard crumbles to the floor, people passing on the street hear screams from inside the building. People are running for their lives, but his anger doesn't subside. This is nothing. Compared to the tragedy of 2 years ago, this cannot even compare. Bullets fly through the air. He ignores them and kills the shooters one after another. 2 or 3 bullets seem to pass through his body. It doesn't matter. If what he does even the slightest bit to dampen the anger, hatred, and sadness he feels, he will kill as many as it takes. It doesn't even matter if he dies. A man in a police uniform draws a sword. He jumps forward, his fist already shooting forward to kill the man from Scotland Yard. The man rolls to the ground, but was able to deflect the blow slightly with his blade to avoid serious injury. Commendable. He suddenly stops. He has finally found his target. Monchly, trembling in fear at the carnage.
Oi, Osan! Kotsu! Tottoto hashire!
The bed! What does your pride give you now? Monchly obeys the instructions shouted at him and begins to flee across the street. When he tries to follow, there is an intense burst of light and a cloud of smoke clouds his vision. 2 men stand beyond the white cloud. They stand in his way as if provoking him.
Sate. フラン、ミスって大怪我なんざするんじゃねえぞ。
ルパンこそ余計な治療をさせないでよね。
Unnecessary first aid.
貴様らが何者かは知らぬが、邪魔立てするならば容赦はせぬ。
Nintote stands up straight, then squares his stance and begins running towards the interlopers with deadly intent. A fierce attack. The men avoid the blow just in time, but he doesn't pursue them. He only has one target.
待っていろ。もうくり。
He rushes to another alley. No matter where Monchly runs, he can follow him by his scent. One whiff of that stench is enough. He will not escape. At that moment,
おいこら、吸血鬼のおっさん。気持ちはわかるが、こっから先は行かせねえ。お前を止める伊達男、その名はインピーバー。ギュハ
ー He's like, shut up. The fool is thrown aside and his body flies headfirst into a pile of trash. Funny, he thought he had punched the idiot hard enough to go straight through his ribcage, but the man is still alive. I know, he's a vampire just like you. That's why he's like, I feel for you, but you need to stop.
おやインピーこんなところで寝ていると風邪をひきますよ。
Of course, Van Helsing's like, what are you doing? Stop taking a nap out here. Be serious about this.
好きで寝てるんじゃねえってば。
Another man steps from the shadows, a slender figure. One leg is enough to understand that this one is powerful. They're gonna keep saying this in like every route up to Saint Germain's route. They're like, oh man, just by looking at him, I know that he is strong. Yes, he is strong. He is the strongest out of all of you guys. Actually, I'm really curious that if Saint Germain got into a fight with Impy, I'm very curious who would win because Impy has strength and Saint Germain just has skill. Oh, okay. Thinking of his skill, Saint Germain would win because Impy's a nut job, so he would become too complacent in his fighting, lose his focus, and just get obliterated. He will not be so easily dealt with. He hesitates for a moment. He is confident that if they fight, he will win. So it's in a third person, so I'm not sure which he they're referring to. I don't know if he's referring to Saint Germain will win or he himself will win. So but the anger in his heart is directed solely towards Monchley. I think he thinks that Saint Germain would win over him. He cannot let his target escape, not that man. He leaps higher and higher into the night. Not to attack the thin man, but to avoid him. Yeah, so he thinks he's going to lose. To kill Monchley, to appease the endless nightmares of anger and despair that lives in his mind.
おやまあ、これはこれは。
It's like, whoa.
いてててて、サンちゃん、あいつ追いかけなくていいのかよ。
追いかけろと言われましても、あれに追いつくのは最新のオートモービルでも無理でしょうね。
Yeah, Saint Germain is strong, but he's not fast. Vampires are fast. He runs, leaving the voices behind. His senses are acutely heightened. The odor of Monchley's perfume. That's what I wanted to say. Trails behind him, leading him straight to his quarry. Eventually, the alley opens up. He arrives in the back of the Thames River. Monchley is here along with 2 others. Yeah, one of them is. You know him. The man he hates from the depths of his soul. The man who cannot ever be forgiven. The man who betrayed and murdered his beloved king.
許さぬ。許さぬぞ。脆弱なる人間ども。そして貴様も。エイブラハム・バン・ヘルシング。
I almost suspected that to be the end, but I know they have to finish this one because I don't remember this guy at all, so he has to only be in this one chapter. Untote's shout pierces through the darkness of the night. I instinctively back away, but Van Helsing remains calm and slowly raises his gun. If he hates him so much, and he's the one that killed the king, shouldn't he at the top of the list? Like, if I was taking revenge, Van Helsing would be at the top of the list for me. There are no guards or police officers around. Van Helsing had them keep their distance to avoid unnecessary casualties.
こうして顔を合わせるのは初めてだな。ノインテーターよ。
I think is what he said. He's a cool looking vampire. I like his eyes.
貴様がなぜここに。
お前の復讐の相手をするためだ。
And Helsing's tone is completely flat, not letting Nuntote's anger change at all.
カルディア、モークリーを下水路へ逃がせ。
Change it about what it said. Right, this way, Mr. Monchley. Are you worried about being a laughingstock now? Monchley and I walk towards a nearby entrance to the sewers. I turn back and look over at Nuntote's with a bitter feeling in my heart. His feet and legs are stained red with blood, most likely not his own. Our original plan had been to intercept and attack him here by the river instead of staying in the mansion, but Monchley had rejected the idea, claiming that his public image was more important. If only Monchley had listened to our directions, so many people wouldn't have had to die. I mean, you could have just forced him to stay there. Unless he's a superhuman too, that might have been a little bit hard to do. There is a gunshot and a crash. Van Helsing must be fighting. Run as far as you can. I promise to come find you later.
なぜこの私がこんな臭い下水路などに逃げ込まなきゃならんのだ
I mean, you can just die if you want. That's fine too. It's the obvious way to avoid the worst outcome. Just go.
黙れすべてお前たちの落ち度だろうやはりヤード風情などに頼むべきではなかったわ
The good for nothing yard. I mean, all your bodyguards are dead, so I don't know. I don't know what you're so angry about. Fine, I don't care what you do. I know, I just let him just do whatever he wants.
なんだと
I wouldn't worry about him either. I heard what you did to the vampires. Van Helsing told me. So if you want to die and pay for the sins of your past with your life, I'm not going to stop you.
行けばいいのだろう行けば
I know, it's just who cares what happens to him. They're just trying to catch the serial killer from killing any more people. With much indignation, Marjorie runs into the sewer. I've been put in charge of keeping him safe, which means I really should go along with him. Oh, I suddenly hear Van Helsing shout. I strain my ears, but I can't hear any more gunshots. What could that possibly mean? Van Helsing! I hurry as fast as I can back to where we had been. Van Helsing is still pointing his gun at Noontote, and the vampire is intently watching him. It seems the worst has yet to come. I take another look at Van Helsing and realize that he has wounds all over his body, and blood is dripping from his mouth. Van Helsing, the unbeatable Van Helsing that I've seen do so much, is wounded. Van Helsing! I'm gonna be in his way. I almost run to his side, but he raises his voice sharply, and I stop in my tracks. I know, don't get in his way, you're going to...
この男は強い。そして厄介なことに。
許さぬ許さぬ許さぬ決して貴様ら人間を許してなるものか
Noontote looks up at the empty sky and screams so terribly it sounds like it's tearing him up inside. This single-minded madness, I've seen it before. No.
ああ。ヒドゥンストレングス。間違いないだろうな。
Oh my goodness. Can you imagine a vampire enhanced? That's funny. He's an enhanced vampire, so stronger than a normal vampire, and he's still worried about Saint Germain beating him. That's really funny. Van Helsing says this as if to reaffirm my memory.
おそらく、アゾット本人がこのノインテーターにもヒドゥンストレングスを施したのだろう。
But how?
方法はわからないが、事実こいつはそうなっている。下水道のジャックと同じ状態だ。奴はすでに正気ではない。冷めない悪夢を振り払おうと、ただ自身の欲望や衝動に従っている。
I remember how strong Jack had been. If hidden strength can bring out that much power in a human being, what would it do to a vampire who is already so much more powerful than humans to begin with? I know, right?
下がっていろ。お前をかばって戦うほど、今の私に余裕はない。
I know. He's like, you can come, just don't get in the way. But if you want him to fight at his best, you need to not interfere. Noontote lets out a blood-curdling roar.
一族にあだなす恩敵ども。我が拳の前に砕け散るがいい。
Noontote runs at lightning speed. And Helsing is able to accurately shoot Noontote despite his speed, but each blast from his gun is a bright flash in the dark. Oh, I said dark.
聞かぬ、聞かぬぞ。我が同胞の痛み、この程度のものではない。
However, even though he has been hit several times, Noontote runs straight towards Van Helsing. The vampire's powerful fist sends him into the air. And Helsing slams to the ground and continues sliding for some distance on his back. Ow. Van Helsing. Noontote approaches slowly as if enjoying the sight of Van Helsing's suffering. When I see this, I start running despite myself.
くそ！カルディア！来るな！下がっていろ！
I know, right? What are you doing? I ignore him and place myself between the two of them. I pull off my right glove. I'm going to burn you. The poison in my body is proof that I am a monster. It's something that I loathe. But in this moment, I'm almost thankful that I have this poison within me.
バカが何をしている！
さっさとここから逃げ出せ。
Buy us some time until everyone gets here. I can at least do that much.
うぬぼれるな。器が違う。死にたいのか。
I can hear Van Helsing's pained voice from behind me, but I don't turn around. I simply stare straight ahead at Nyotote and take a fighting stance. In the past, someone precious to me died because of me.
我らが同胞の痛み、苦しみ、今ここで晴らしてくれる。
I can't stand and watch as someone else I hold dear dies before my eyes.
よせ、ガルディア。
Aww.
今ここで。
I will crush you. I can almost hear him say it as he advances towards me. I don't care if I'm no match for him. As long as I can protect Van Helsing, I don't back down and lash out with a sharp blow. Then, here, there is a frightful wind. Somehow the only thing that touches me is a blast of moving air.
間に合ったか。
Oh, he's coming to rescue. Deli. A small figure is standing between us. It's Deli, who was supposed to be back at the mansion. He had grabbed the wrist of both of us as we were about to strike, stopping us in the nick of time.
Oh, no.
Oh. His eyes turned normal. Though Nantote had been out of control only a moment ago, when he sees Deli, some clarity seems to return to his eyes.
目を覚ませ。ノインテータ、世がわからぬか。偉大なるドラクロワの子、ドラキュラだ。もうこのようなことはよせ。復讐は現命したる世の責務。父上に忠心を尽くしたお前がこのようなことに手を染める必要などないのだ。
He stands in front of me and Van Helsing and shouts at his fellow vampire. He seems more mature than usual. Despite the situation, I find myself thinking that it must be his father's influence.
人間をかばうというのですか。
Uh-oh.
人間をかばっているのではない。お前を止めたいだけだ。
私を止める。
ああ、お前の行為は自身の首を絞めている。このままではいつか身を滅ぼすだろう。ノインテータ、お前は世の死であり大切な同族。できることなら争いなど忘れ、どこか人のいない地でその余生を過ごしてほしいのだ。
Uh-oh.
争いを忘れろと。人間どもを許せというのですか。
違う。世はこれ以上同族を失いたくはないのだ。お前にもこれ以上傷ついてほしくない。
Deli desperately calls out to him, but right before our eyes, Nantote's eyes cloud and give off an eerie glow.
何を言っている。できるわけがない。人間は我ら同族を殺し、もてあそんだ。その報いがあるのは当然ではないか。許されるわけがない。許していいはずがない。
With this shout, he stamps down with his foot, and the ground around us begins to shake, as if the world is resonating with Nantote's anger.
いいだろう。人間に寝返るというのならば、貴様こそ王の誇りを汚す大罪人。
And Van Helsing predicted exactly how he would react.
私がこの手で引導を渡してやろう。
The attack is instant. Deli brilliantly intercepts a blow that was too fast for me to even see. How?
なぜそれほどの力を持ちながら貴様は人間と共にあるのだ。我らが無念、同胞の無念、なぜ晴らそうとは思わない。
I mean, he's going to. He's going to kill Van Helsing for you.
人間は憎むべき相手だとそれくらい分かっている。だが
Whatever he's trying to say gets cut off when Nantote punches Deli with his other fist. Deli! Nantote does not attack him again. For some reason, hitting Deli seems to have hurt Nantote's worse than it did the boy. So loud. What's he talking about? There's a sudden gunshot and Nantote is caught in the explosion. Yeah. Because he's enhanced too. I mean, he's not a vampire, but... And Helsing somehow finds the strength to stand up and is reloading his gun despite being short of breath.
お前の相手は私だ。ノインテーター。
I wish I knew exactly how he was pronouncing it so I could just pronounce it the Japanese way. We're going to help Deli. Deli, are you alright? I run to Deli's side. I try to remember what Victor taught me and inspect him carefully. No broken bones, your breathing and pulse seem fine. Awareness. Deli, are you hurt? Are you aware that you're hurt? He shakes his head in response. At least he can respond. He's most likely groggy due to the strong blow to the head he just received.
すぐに済ませる。そちらはお前に任せるぞ。
Yeah, see, if you do it this way, then Van Helsing can act at his full potential, and you are not in the way, and you're still helping. Alright.
許さぬ。許さぬ。私は全てを許さない。
This is going to be over a 2-hour video. Or already is at this point. Nantote shouts Nantote shouts and jumps back to create some distance.
何もかも終わりにしてくれる。
He rushes forward with all his might. This intense murderous urge to kill Van Helsing is directed straight at him.
一族の敵にしよう。全ての敵にしよう。
Uh-oh. In response, Van Helsing, for some reason, he lowers his gun instead of pointing them at the enemy. What?
私は死ぬわけにはいかない。
Is Van Helsing going to respond in kind? Van Helsing looks so vacant. They scream weakly.
死ぬわけにはいかない。
Nantote approaches. Death approaches.
終わりだ。バンヘルシング。
死んでたまるか。
This is intense. Van Helsing is going to be killed. My fear is about to become a reality. I can't remember what I scream. But his fist should have caught Van Helsing. Instead, it cuts through the air and in Van Helsing's place. What's he doing? There are several explosive noises. In the next moment, Nantote is crumbled to the ground and is down on one knee. What did he do? Then, Van Helsing, who has somehow escaped his attack and hit him with an explosive, walks towards us. His movements seem superhuman. Could this be Van Helsing's full power on display? It's so much like Van Helsing. What was that?
ああ、正直賭けだったが、 死ぬわけにはいかないと柄にもなく必死になったおかげかもしれないな。
I think they're glossing over the fact that Jack kind of mentioned that he was one of them. So she's like, it's almost like, yeah, it's almost like he's enhanced too. See? And Helsing looks down upon Tote sprawled on the ground. The vampire lies there unmoving, as if looking up at the stars in the sky. A silent wave crosses the surface of the river. It's hard to believe that we'd been engaged in a mortal battle moments ago. We stand together in this truly quiet moment in the night.
私は負けたのか、バンヘルシング。
It's funny, he's asking.
ああ、そのようだな。
They're just having a casual conversation, like, yeah, so it would seem.
そうか。では、もう私にできることは、貴様が地獄に落ちることをただ願うばかりだ。
それなら心配することはない。私は高確率で地獄行きだ。
It's funny, they're just having like a man-to-man conversation while he's like laying on the ground. Like, well, I guess I didn't defeat you, but I hope you rot. He's like, yeah, probably.
ノインテーター。貴様が地獄に落ちることがあれば、
Maybe I'll see you there.
向こうでの再会も叶うかもしれんな。
なるほど。それはごめん被りたいものだ。
After he laughs, Nantote's voice is soft. Could this calm and gentle voice be Nantote's true demeanor before he was taken over by hidden strength?
不思議と心が軽い。まるで夢を見ていたようだ。
手のつけようがないほどのとびきりの悪夢だったようだがな。
ああ、私はずっと震えていた。悲鳴と怒号の中で生き残った自身への罪悪感。だが、何より恐ろしかったのは、この夢が覚めた時、私一人が救われてしまうことだった。
I feel like I understand some of what he feels. Elaine died and Eddie lost her mother, and I didn't lose anything. Hearing Nantote's voice brings these memories back.
ノインテータ、正気に戻ったようだな。
I turn around to his voice and see Deli standing there, already looking a bit better. He draws closer to him and speaks to him.
共に来い。ノインテータ、世にはお前が必要だ。
ドラクロワ様。
The boy's small hand reaches out to him. Nointeta hesitates, then... Oh no, not again. I'm just gonna call him what the Japanese call him. Suddenly, Nointeta arrives in pain.
どうしたのだ。しっかりしろ、ノインテータ。
私は
Oh no.
憎い。人が全てが私の世界を奪ったこの世界が。
He was just about to recover too.
バカな。ヒドゥンストレングスがまだ解けていないというのか。
Belly, watch out. Nointeta is out of control.
黙れ。奴は世の進化だ。
So
世の大切な仲間なのだ。
Deli crouches over Nointeta. Watch out! Nointeta thrusts his hand forward and there is a horrible sound as his hand pierces. Not Deli, but Van Helsing, who had come between them to protect the young vampire. Aww. Ow. I don't want to listen to it.
ヘルシング
Aw, he protected
貴様
you.
何をしている
All of you guys are important to him, despite what he says.
いいから逃げろ。
何をそんな
Van Helsing! As I run towards Van Helsing, Nointeta falls to the ground. He had punched through his own chest with his other hand. Oh. He has some control of himself left to end himself, as if to put an end to his own madness. Bella, you're faster than me. Hurry and tell the others.
要はただノインテータを救いたかっただけなのになぜそれなのにお前が
He's in shock. Deli, hurry! Deli snaps back and runs off. Don't die, Van Helsing. He doesn't respond to my panicked shout. Oh no, it's at the end. Oh, okay, some time has passed since then. A peaceful sunset is outside the window. Oh, we get lots of cute little CGs in this one. Might have to use this one. Van Helsing looks hurt. It would intrigue me, definitely. Van Helsing is asleep on the bed. His breathing is even, and his face has a healthy color. Although I really like the one of him in the dark too, staring all sad like a Cardia. After that, Victor had arrived right away and given Van Helsing emergency treatment. The first aid, as well as Van Helsing's own physical capabilities, helped him to miraculously avoid any critical wounds. A few other factors came into play, and Van Helsing was able to keep his life. As for Nointeta, Scotland Yard said they would conduct an appropriate memorial service, and Deli headed off with them. Everyone told me to rest in my room since the excitement must have made me tired, but I didn't want to leave Van Helsing's side. Somewhere in my heart, I had a delusional fear that he would die the moment I left him alone. He's so cute, even without his glasses. Oh, you're awake.
お前か。なぜここにいる？あれからどうなった？
I think he's definitely one of the more handsome ones out of all of them. Probably the most, in my opinion. I think it has something to do with the eyes. Whenever I make characters in video games, I always give them like purple eyes. So I think it's his eyes. And can't really see Saint Germain's eyes, so whatever. It's all over. We're back at the mansion. You're going to be fine.
そうか。
He seems out of it. I'm glad you're alive. So glad.
なぜ私の生還など気にする？お前は助かったのだから、それでいいだろう。私のことまでいちいち考えなくていい。
Says the person who literally just threw himself in front of another to save their life. Like, you're such a hypocrite. I shake my head softly at Van Helsing's quiet protests. When I thought you were going to die, I was so scared. It was scarier than thinking about my own death. That's why I'm so happy that you're alive right now. Thank you for living. I tell him everything that has been deep within my heart. I don't know what exactly this feeling is, but I just wanted to tell him everything right now. Aww. He loves you. What?
お前が私をかばってノインテーターの前に立った時、私もきっと今のお前と同じ気分だった。
Oh, there's the mask that's down again, showing his true feelings just for a moment.
お前が生き残ったことがどうしてかとても嬉しいんだ。
He says some really sweet things, even though he frustrates me in this whole route. Yes.
もう二度とあんなことはするなよ。肝が冷える。だが、
So just remember this right here whenever he says mean things to you again tomorrow.
礼だけは言っておく。ありがとう。カルディア。
You don't need to thank me. I'm always getting in the way. I know, like, you just told her to stop thanking you, and now you're like, thank you. Going back on what you're saying.
何を言うんだ。お前が手当てをしてくれたのだろう。私に死ぬなと叫んでいた。嬉しかったよ。
Oh, it made him happy. That's so cute.
こんな私に死ぬなと言ってくれる人がいたことが嬉しい。
It makes me sad hearing him say this. And Helsing smiles. I had no idea he could smile so kindly. At the same time, my chest tightens. What is this feeling? My mouth automatically opens. There's something I want to tell him. It's something I feel I need to tell him. Van Helsing? No! Go away, you're interrupting. Before I can finish, there is a knock on the door. I suddenly forget what I was trying to tell him in the first place.
ドラクロワだ。カルディア、いるのだろう。
She's going to tell him that she cares about him and you ruined it. I open the door for him. Come in.
ヘルシング。目覚めていたのか。
あ
あ。It's like all... He's mad that you ruined it too. It seems that Deli hadn't counted on Van Helsing being awake yet. Deli looks awkward, but stands on the edge of the bed.
聞いてもよいか。
なんだ。
なぜ世を助けた。世はいずれお前を殺すのだぞ。
ああ、忘れてなどいない。誓いは必ず果たすさ。
ならばなぜ世を助けた。世がお前を殺せないとでもそう思っているのか。
Deli sounds embarrassed and offended, as if he is ready to start a fight with Van Helsing right now.
いや、思っていない。自分のやったことを考えれば、お前の怒りも憎しみも当然のことだ。
I look down at the sound of guilt in his voice, knowing that Van Helsing must die eventually almost crushes my heart.
あの時何が起きていたのだ。お前のようなやつが理由もなく我らを滅ぼしたとは思えぬ。
Queen, it's the Queen's fault. It's not his fault. He's just a soldier. Deli speaks anxiously, as if irritated by something.
理由があれば、誰かを殺していいことになるのか。
何よ。
理由があれば、罪は許されるのか。
Van Helsing.
復讐を終えたら、私はお前に殺される。それでいい。それでいいんだ。
No. She's not gonna let you die.
お前は。
You don't want to die. She doesn't want you to die. You're not going to die. Deli says nothing more. After a while, he leaves the room. He looks into the distance. It bothers me to see him look so forlorn. and I ask him a single question. Van Helsing, is it, do you want to die? He doesn't reply. He thinks that that's the only way to atone for his sin. I believe he said that in the common route. He walks alone atop the massive walls that surround London. He takes his time as if merely strolling.
ロンドンの光。父様の作ったこの都市は、夜闇の中でこそ本当の美しさを見せてくれるね。
There he is! Phyllis is back!
なんて美しいんだ。このロンドンに今、混乱と恐怖が広がろうとしている。面白いよ。実に面白い。いいだろう。もう少しだけ君が主催する遊びに付き合おうじゃないか。僕もその先に何があるのか見てみたい。混乱の叫びと血の海の先にこそ真実は眠っているのだから。
The wind blows gently and he runs a hand through his hair. The moon is the only thing that sees his gentle smile, a smile filled with both beauty and madness. He's back! Venice is back! Doll face. I believe that has something to do with either Finis or Cardia, probably. Seems like a weird title for a chapter, but whatever. Yeah, Dollface is like a nickname that you give some people. I don't know if you're calling them a pet name or, I don't know, trying to insult them. I don't know. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. Definitely got some more insights to the characters. They think that, so, I mean, by this point, you should probably know that Van Helsing's has human strength, because this is what this whole route is about, is the human strength that people were injected with to create the superhuman army. There's still some of them left. Some of them still survived the, I guess, purge of them when they were trying to get rid of them. And Jack hinted that Van Helsing was one of them. So yeah, that's how he's able to withstand a fight with an enhanced vampire. Anyway, I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, drop a like down below and or subscribe for the rest of Van Helsing's route, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.